It's Update Monday! What's going on with ya, big dog? And it is an amazing Monday. It is actually 1, 2, 3, 4 months of kicking rheumatoid arthritis' ass, boy! Let's go! I really wanted to say this because I hope you're having a good Monday. And if you aren't, just think about it. 16 Mondays ago was my worst Monday ever. It gets better, dog. Look ahead, do better, you'll be all right. Speaking of all right, I know one thing that is more than all right, like Kendrick Lamar, we gon' be all right. And that is the budget decks that's coming out because of Maximum Gold Dorado. That's right, guys, Maximum Gold Dorado has given us some really key reprints to make some really good decks a lot more affordable. I think that is perfect for the Yu-Gi-Oh community, as some of these decks are not only underrated, they are locked and loaded to be able to take over your local level event. So to be real with you, I'm tired of sitting right here, dog. Let's talk about some of these top budget decks. Now, Maximum Gold Dorado has given us some really good reprints, but there are also some other strategies that I'm not going to talk about just because I'm going to talk about them in another video, or I've already talked about them, but they're still budget. Strategies like Virtual World and Tri Brigade are not only some of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh!, they're extremely budget. Reason why I decided to exclude them from this list is because people were probably tired of me talking about BBW and VW like it's going out of style. And BBW and VW does sound like two cars, not cards. And then there's some other strategies like B-Trooper and Lyrilusc, strategies that we talked about in our top meta decks from Burst of Destiny. You should go ahead and check out that video. I'm not going to include them in this particular video, even though they are budget, mainly because I want to talk to you about as many strategies as possible, and that would clog it up a little bit. With that being said, the first strategy that got a huge reprint inside of Maximum Gold Dorado, as well as a key reprint in a structure deck, is Altergeist. Now, the Altergeist strategy is based off of being able to special summon your Altergeist multi-faker to your side of the field for activating some really good trap cards. Infinite Impermanence just got a reprint in the Cyber style structure deck and is one of the most important cards for the Altergeist strategy, allowing you to negate an opponent's card and summon Altergeist monsters to your side of the field. This deck is a really good trap-based control style strategy that really works in a format where there are a lot of monster effects that need to be activated because this strategy can negate them. Cards like Altergeist Protocol prevent your Altergeist monsters from being negated, while also negating some of your opponent's most important cards. And then, of course, you can play the regular negate cards like Solemn Strike, Effect Veiler, Infinite Impermanence. Just if your opponent activates a monster effect, almost guarantee it's going to be negated. Since Altergeist doesn't play a ton of spell cards, cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance and Imperial Order could be mainboarded or sideboarded inside of the strategy, but also since Altergeist are spellcaster monsters, you can even run Secret Village of Spellcasters. This is a deck that is actually built for this particular meta, where spell cards are really good, and on top of that, monster effects are a must. Altergeist can take over the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. The most expensive card for the Altergeist strategy that we know of right now is Infinite Impermanence from the Cyber style structure deck. This card is now only $10 as opposed to its $100 price tag at its peak. And even Pot of Extravagance is a confirmed reprint inside of the Maximum Gold, as well as Altergeist cards. Now, if you were to ask me, Altergeist can be an alter guide for the next top meta on a budget. Cause I'm not scared, but boo. The next strategy I want to talk to you about from Maximum Gold Dorado just so happens to be the original best strategy in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's right, my boys are back. Dinos in the house as the deck that can not only break boards, but also make boards with ease. Maximum Gold Dorado has given some really good reprints like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and Soul Eating, but let's actually talk about how this strategy works. Basically, you got your Lost World, right? Anytime a token monster is destroyed, you can destroy a dinosaur monster instead. Source Soul still plays tokens? Yeah, you can actually make plays upon that. After you debarrier them, preventing them from synchro, slam your Lost World down, attempt to destroy the token, and summon free dinos. Plus. But that's not where this strategy stops, as destroying Baby Sarasaurus could special summon Soul Eating or Animadorn, but destroying Petite Pteranodon can special summon Pank to your side of the field, and having a searchable Pank or a Doggerin is kind of cool. The Dino strategy is built best on breaking boards because of how Ultimate Conductor Tyranno can flip all of those non-link deck monsters to the side of the field from face up to face down. What's the meta again? Non-link monsters. Huh, we in business. And just when your opponent thinks that they can activate monster effects to have you in your clutches, that well-timed Miscellaneousaurus allows you to protect your dinos for the entire phase. No Nibiru, no Baron de Fleur, no, none of that. Just don't do none of that. We about to break some boards. Now, I know you Zoomers are used to Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm gonna take it real prehistoric with a dino deck and smash on the meta. The most expensive card used to be that Scrap Chimera, but guess what? That's a gold rare too. Pot of Prosperity is still out of our budgets, at least until Mega 10's 2022, but that Pot of Extravagance is looking kinda cool, and guess what? It's a gold rare too. Now, what kind of set would Maximum Gold El Dorado be without actually including cards from El Dorado? And what kind of Yu-Gi-Oh players would we be if we ignored the cards in El Dorado? Eldritch is not only the spice, it's a deck that you can pull on a budget. I mean, look at the Golden Lord sitting all like... I fell. I may not be able to sit like Eldritch currently, but my swag is just on point, just like him. Being able to set trap cards to your side of the field and treat them as monsters, as Waikato and Conquistador allow you to not only summon these as monsters, but be able to disrupt the opponent by banishing cards in the graveyard and also destroying cards on the field. Now, there is a requirement to be able to pop off with these effects. You do need Eldritch the Golden Boy on your side of the field. Fortunately enough, this is fairly easy to do, as Black Awakening and Sanguine allow you to special summon Eldritch or zombie monsters if you already control Eldritch on your side of the field, and this can open up the deck for a myriad of plays. You can play Zombie World, which is really good against some of the top decks in the meta. Sword Soul, Florinda-Reese, BBW, Drytron even has to respect Zombie World. That's pretty cool. Or you could just play traps on traps on traps, dog. We in the trap house. Dog, I swear, they be coming in here, they be knocking on the door. I don't be answering. You might be the popo. You need to know the password. Eldritch is one of the most versatile trap decks that can play Zombie, Invoked, Pure. There are so many ways to play Eldritch. You're gonna have so much fun with it. The most expensive card for Eldritch is inconclusive. Seriously, everything was reprinted in the gold set and in the last gold set. So it's like, what is expensive? If we had to stay to the pure route, the most expensive card for Eldritch would probably be Dogmatica Ecclesia. That got a secret rare reprint inside of the Mega 10's 2020. I believe it's around $13, and you only need one. Now, it feels like every time I sit right here today, we gotta pop off. Cause my boys, my dogs in Solomon Great are back at being budget no matter how you look at it. The Solomon Great strategy is the best cyber strategy. Don't come at me with any of that BS, dude. Solomon Great, too strong. And it's built on being able to link summon, or second link summon as we would say. Solomon Great Sunlight Wolf is pretty good on its own when a monster summons under it. You can add a fire monster like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring from your graveyard to your hand, but when you summon it using another Solomon Great Sunlight Wolf, it can also add Solomon Great spell and trap cards from your graveyard to your hand. That seems fairly complicated, being able to make another Solomon Great Sunlight Wolf under the Sunlight Wolf, but that's completely mitigated with Solomon Great Sanctuary, allowing you to link summon with the card that you already have on your field. Too strong. Good job, Konami, because I ain't trying to put 4 monsters on the field to gain a link 2 effect. Since Solomon Greats are cybers, they have a wide access to some of the most powerful cybers cards. Signet Mining allows you to get your important cybers cards to your hand, and then you have some cool link monsters in Trance Code Talker and Splash Mage that can help you win games fairly quickly. Now, of course, as you guys know, the biggest bane to Solomon Great would be getting that ever so elusive Axis Code Talker. This card was at the very least $100, unless you got it when Eternity Code first came out. It was $30 then, but we not gonna talk about that. The gold rare version of Axis Code Talker is slated to be a lot cheaper, a lot cheaper than its secret rare counterpart, making Solomon Great back into that budget meta again. And the last strategy I want to talk to you about is completely spice. I just gotta ask you one question. How's Squamata doing? Shuttle Invoked is finally a budget Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Thank you, as this deck is actually one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now basically how the Shuttle Invoke strategy works is that you use Magical Meltdown to search your Alistair the Invoker, you summon your Alistair the Invoker to get the invocation, and then you make their graveyard our graveyard. Come on, you don't want to share? You don't like beats? You don't like to turnip? Some of the most powerful fusion monsters can be fused using our graveyard. Invoked Mechaba is one of the most powerful because there are so many great light monsters in the game, allowing you to negate the activation of a spell, trap, and monster effect and banish it. And then since there are so many players that want to follow their win, well, Invoked Ragin is a really good invoked monster that can be summoned, flipping monsters from face up to face down. If you bring that fire, then Invoked Trio allows you to attack every single one of your opponent's monsters and gains attack per card your opponent controls. And if we need fusions for fusions, well, Invoked Agiotis covers the rest. Now, the Shuttle engine can vary from deck to deck, but I think there is one thing I want to mention. Shuttle Schism allows you to fusion summon on your opponent's main phase by banishing the appropriate materials from your field or graveyard. Being able to make a Shuttle window when your opponent activates a monster effect to special summon itself pretty much locks your opponent out of special summoning for the duration of the turn, at least until they can get rid of the window. And one of Shuttle's most scariest Yu-Gi-Oh cards in Shuttle Fusion allows you to fusion summon from your main deck if your opponent has a monster on their extra deck to their side of the field. So you could say, sup? How's Squamata doing? The Shuttle Invoke strategy has been tried and true, turning your graveyard to our graveyard, turning your special summon monster into our special summon monster, and using super polymerization on the way to get rid of your boards. The most expensive card for the Shuttle strategy is going to be Invocation. Fortunately enough, we're not gonna have to pay a dime piece for an Invocation anymore. We can get the gold rares. I'm not sure how to feel about this. I mean, they're gold rare, but they're gold rare, they're cheap. And that's all that I have for today. I really hope that these budget competitive Yu-Gi-Oh decks bring you back into the Yu-Gi-Oh card game or allow you to take another look at some other powerful strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, of course, if you want to see more content, you should know that I'm streaming today, but you can also check out these videos as I'll catch you on the next one.